All right. So welcome to the ACT cart, or the Animals and Climate Tales. We just call it the ACT cart for short. And I want to model a conversation for you here in just a minute, but I want to be clear that oftentimes I find that kids are my primary audience here, our younger guests, and sometimes families. So you've got the kids that are really excited about seeing stuff, and the adults that are kind of tuned in, standing behind them. And then once in a while you'll just have a group of adults, but that seems pretty rare. So what we're going to do here over the next couple of minutes is maybe model the conversation that you might have with a younger audience here. Sound good? Okay, so let's see. I have a couple questions for you to start with. How many of you have friends? Okay, you're not too sure. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, okay, they'll all be your friend. Okay, how many of you spend some time with your friends, you know, kind of like to hang out with them and maybe help each other out, okay? You suppose we humans invented that, or there are other kinds of critters that hang out with others and maybe help each other out?
Those other kind of critters.
Yeah, it's been going on with lots of different things for a long time, including a lot of different kinds of fish. So I want to talk a little bit about how that works maybe for fish. And one of my favorite examples is sardines. We love sardines around here. And you ever see one sardine just hanging out, or are they always together? Yeah, they're always together in a group. What do we call a group of sardines?
School.
School, okay. And so why would there be an advantage into hanging out with thousands of others that are just like you?
Because there's safety in numbers. I mean, if there's a lot of you, then there's less of a chance of just you being picked off.
Okay, yeah. And actually that works in several different ways, that protection thing.
Yeah, and there's also where they make themselves look bigger by being in a swarm.
So a whole school looks like one huge animal, and a predator's going to see that and go, oh, I got to get away from this. Or think about how many eyeballs are looking in how many different directions, so there's no chance of a predator sneaking up on a school like that, because somebody's going to see you no matter where you're coming from. And it also can overwhelm a predator. They're just, I'm going to eat that one. No, I'm going to catch that one. No, maybe that one. And you just get totally overwhelmed, and you wind up not catching anybody. So working together as a school is not only huge protection, but you know, more recently we have figured out there's another big advantage to it. With all these fish swimming together, it winds up being easier for each fish to swim. They're doing something called drafting. Have you ever heard that term before? Where have you seen that term used?
Running.
Okay, running, racing, swimming. Lots of athletes use drafting because, like, if you're in a bike race, if you are just behind and next to the lead racer, then you don't have to pedal nearly as hard, because that racer's kind of getting a lot of the friction moving through the air, and then by drafting them, you can save your energy for that final sprint. So we know drafting is a great way to save our energy when we're involved in a sport. Well, it turns out that when you have a school of sardines, they're all drafting each other. And each one of those sardines is saving like 20% of its swimming energy. And think of, if you've got 20,000 sardines and they're each saving 20% of their energy, how much the total energy savings is in a big school of sardines. It's phenomenal.
20%.
So by working together, yeah, it's incredible savings. So it turns out we humans have started to figure out that whole phenomenon also, that working together, we can each save some energy, and collectively, we can save huge amounts of energy. So, kind of copying the idea from sardines, if we are doing things collectively in a big group, then the results get multiplied many times over. So whether it's all riding together in a bus maybe, or maybe using bike lanes and riding our bicycles, or walking, or taking alternative transportation, maybe it's generating electricity collectively through solar or wind power. Working together, we can get huge results.
Oh, they can be in the water too?
And yeah, there are wind farms even offshore now in certain locations. So you're doing it right now. The electricity that is running these lights, that's running this table, running this screen, is all coming from sustainable sources. Because all of the electricity that we use here in Monterey, Santa Cruz, San Benito County comes through a community power project that only sources sustainable electricity. So you may not have even known that every day you are saving a lot of fossil fuels by using sustainable electricity. So normally, we used to make electricity by burning stuff, right? Coal, oil, and gas.
Oh, right.
And when you burn stuff, what happens?
CO2.
Creates CO2 that goes in the air, and that CO2 building up in the air is warming things, it's changing our weather patterns. Yeah, that heat trapping blanket around the planet. And you know what? It's also soaking into the ocean and changing ocean chemistry and making life a lot harder for animals in the ocean. So it turns out that, for example, by us using sustainable electricity, that's a whole lot of fossil fuel that is not burned to make electricity here, which means a lot less of that CO2 going in the air or in the ocean. A big help to everybody that lives out there in the ocean. And maybe an idea we got from them in the first place of working together for bigger results. And it's not only making our lives better, making life better for everybody in the ocean at the same time. So, you know, maybe these animals have some pretty cool ideas, and we humans are slowly taking a better look at nature. Nature's all about saving energy, and a lot of the ideas we are getting from Mother Nature these days are all about how we can live better lives and save a lot of energy at the same time. And we are all better off, us humans and all the other critters as well. So do you think you can tell that story to guests that come by the yak cart here? Cool.